Championship. Stanek, with us, you can go so much further. For the Volkswagen Algoa Rally, the 5th round of the National Championships, we move to the Eastern Cape and the home of Volkswagen in South Africa, Uitenhage. A total of 40 entries were received by the organisers, the Algoa Motorsport Club. 6 Class A big bangers lead the field of Classes B, C, D and 6 special Class S entries. The draw sees Serge Damso and Vito Bonafide in their Toyota ahead of arch-rivals Sarah van der Merwe and Frans Boshoff in the Sasol Ford Laser. Serge has vowed to beat Sarah van der Merwe down to the wire in the area that most regard as Sarah's backyard.
Yeah.
After 2 non-finished events in a row, Serge has arrived with his conquest reworked and with the suspension fully set up for the 5 tar stages that precede the longer forest sections later in the event. A change from intermediate tyres to full slicks for the 2 Toyota 4-wheel drive conquests. After inspecting stage 1 in the centre of Uitenhage CBD, Sarel decides to downgrade from racing slicks to treaded rally tyres. He explains why.
Yes, our 4-wheel drive system is such that if you pull up the handbrake, all 4 wheels lock, so effectively we don't have a handbrake. And I'm using the normal rally tyres just to get a bit of slide so I can get around the hairpins. And I think we're going to have a tough time against the cars with handbrakes in the first few stages.
According to the superstitious Sarah van der Merwe, a man who won't drive a rally car with a number 4 on the door, Jan Habich and Martin Botha, Volkswagen's only hopes in Class A, have drawn the unluckiest number in the field.
Martin, I see you've got the legendary number 4 number on the side of your car.
Oh, we're desperately scared, but we're not too worried about these things. Our most greatest accident happened at number 8, so maybe this time we'll have half the trouble or twice the amount of luck. We're not too sure. We'll see.
Are you superstitious? Do you carry rabbit's feet and that sort of thing in the car? Or are those your own feet?
Those are my own feet, but I am superstitious, yes. I wear very tight... Cancel that.
With the approach of the official 2:30 p.m. starting time, both competitors and marshals prepare to clock the cars out of the holding area and onto the start at stage 1, where the Uitenhage crowds are gathering. Stanek's sports news van will be on hand, acting as a mobile public information centre, keeping the spectators up to date on the action. And spectators there were, with the people from Uitenhage turning out in their droves to witness the spectacle. As Serge and Vito came under starters' orders, every vantage point was sought round the 1.7 kilometre parking lot stage. Serge throttles the conquest into the stage, officially starting the 1993 Volkswagen Algoa Rally. The tight bends around the islands of the parking lot become a navigator's nightmare as the car gains speed and a constant string of instructions have to be called to the driver. Even the national champions can make a mistake, but with a flick of the controls, Serge instantly has the Toyota back on track. Second into the stage are Sarah van der Merwe and Frans Boshoff, who, as we heard from Sarel, have opted for treaded rally tyres to give the Ford some wheel spin. The 4-wheel drive traction of the Class A cars helps tremendously on the gravel roads, but does little to help the driver on these tight gymkhana sections. Most rally cars operate a handbrake system that locks the rear wheels, braking traction and sliding the back end of the car round the corners. However, the Ford's braking system does not offer the driver that option, and Sarel must use sheer horsepower to wheel spin around bends. As one car ends, the next is sent on its way. Hannes Grobler and Douglas Judd are the 3rd crew into the stage. With Nissan Motorsport having sidelined Nick de Waal for the moment, Hannes carries the full weight of the Nissan effort and no doubt hopes to give Nissan their first national victory for the year. The Sentra picks up a misfire halfway through the stage. The fuel pickup starved momentarily as the Sentra is thrown round the bends. The second Class A conquest of Enzo Kuhn and Johan Silung is next into the stage ahead of Habich and Buerta, who should be fourth on the road. Enzo has the task of bettering a time of 2 minutes and 37 seconds, set by both Serge Damso and Hannes Grobler. With a faultless run, Enzo and Johan set a time of 2 minutes 28 seconds, winning the stage by 9 seconds and thereby taking an early lead in the rally. There's drama at the start control as Jan Habich struggles with a faulty intercom system.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Without navigational commands, the Golf wouldn't stand a chance around these tight sections, and Jan's not taking any chances. Peter Baragwanath and Charles Reeler take their position at the start control, pushing the Golf down yet another place on the road. Peter and Charles put in a time of 2 minutes and 41 seconds, keeping the privately entered Sentra Coupe in the top 5. Having been forced down the field by 2 cars due to the intercom fault and now missing the starting lights, it seems Sorrell's unlucky number 4 theory may well be at work on this crew.
All the way right. All the way right.
Joining them for a short part of the stage, one gets an idea of the task at hand.
And left. And right. And left. And left. Straight across. Straight across and left. Straight down. Straight down. And left. And left again. And left. And left.
Next into the stage are the Class B 16-valve Golfs. Leon Buerta heads this pack of 3 entries, which form a contest of their own behind the Class A 4-wheel drive cars. Cape Town's Brady Dabner has now commandeered the ex-factory car, which Jurg Nel used to such good effect last year.
Oh yes, Brady has got an excellently developed motor car. It's the ex-Jurg Nel car, which is very well developed and very well prepared. Tony Ball has always been excellent competition. He's an experienced driver. We hope to be leading them though, I can assure you that.
Leon and Francois have hopefully sorted out their gearbox and clutch problems, which forced them out of the results of the last 3 events. Brady Dabner and Graham Stuck get right down to business in a car that has been set up very differently to the Class B Golf they prepared in the Cape.
Well, we're still getting used to the car. It'll be our first national with this car. So we find that it's handling a bit different to our old car. In the sense that the suspension's a bit softer than my old car. So I think because it's all tar stages, the first 5 till this evening, that one must just settle down and feel how the car's going. You're not going to win the rally up to stage 5 and then see what the dirt does from there on.
So, easy does it for the Cape Townians. The final team in this Class B duo are the Natal crew of Tony Ball and Tony Babb, back in the Nationals after a big crash on the Castrol Rally in May.
Robbie, I think we're going to take it a little bit easy. One can't afford a crash like that too often. The budget's taken a big bite. And it would be nice to finish for a change.
But Class B is going to be competitive.
Oh yes, well, once the flag drops, you forget all the heartache and the pain and the backache and you just go for it.
Dabner and Stuck clock the fastest time in Class B with 2 minutes 40 seconds. The fight begins. Roger McCleary keeps the spectators informed and amused from the Stanek Sports van as they await the 20 remaining competitors who will set off into the stage. Chart van der Walt and Jacob van der Linde, who currently lead the national championship in their 1600cc Class D Golf, will be driving for points and Class D honours against the Uno of Paolo Piazzamusso and Neil Watt. Paolo has blown the Uno's clutch on the start line and limps the little car through the stage. Etienne Lawrence and Robert Paisley unintentionally removed the back wheel and hub from their Class C Toyota, but press on regardless, much to the amusement of the younger spectators who know all about breaking toys. After another town stage and dispatch, the rally moves to the open parking lot at Port Elizabeth's Kings Beach. The times are all within seconds of each other, and with South Africa's best at the controls, there's very little given or taken. The Kings Beach parking lot is divided into sections resembling a maze of bunting tape in which the cars must compete. The area is vast, and Serge soon has the Toyota quickly up to speed, making the 1.3 kilometre stage seem comparatively short. Sarel throws the Sasol Ford round the stage in 1 minute and 3 seconds, bettering Serge Damso by 1 second. Using slick racing tyres for added traction, Hannes Kobler immediately equals Sarel's time, pushing the Sentra to its limits in the process. Headed south on the N2, the competitors leave the city of Port Elizabeth behind them as they make their way at a sedate pace to the penultimate town stage at Jeffreys Bay. Known worldwide for the tubes and rollers its surf produces, J Bay is about to see some action of a more noisy kind. A tight 1.5 kilometre stage winds its way through the streets of the resort town, and the residents and holiday visitors make the most of this unusual late afternoon happening. Jan Habich has clocked in competitive times on the 3 stages already run, shrugging off the bad luck omen associated with being number 4. Tony Ball and Tony Babb starting to dominate the Class B battle. Serge pulls the Conquest into the service area on the outskirts of Humansdorp. The suspension must be reset for the final 28 kilometre stage through the Krom River forests. The Conquest had been set up like a racing car for the tar stages. Softer spring settings will give the wheels more vertical travel and better traction. Deep-treaded rally tyres replace the slick racing rubber used on the tar. Under the car, anti-roll torsion bars must also be changed, all within just a few minutes, and always under the watchful eye of the man who must drive the car. Serge and Vito leave the service area on their way to the final stage of the day. Unknowingly, Habich and Buerta prepare to leave for a stage they will not complete. A broken suspension sadly ends car number 4's rally in stage 6. The curse of being car number 4 continues. The facts and figures after 6 stages sees the Toyota of Serge Damso just 7 seconds ahead of the Grobler Judd Nissan. Sarah van der Merwe and Frans Boshoff hold 3rd place, 14 seconds ahead of the 2nd Toyota of Kunen Seeling. Glenn Durman and Dave Lefkowitz are promoted to 5th overall after the retirement of both Habich and Baragwanath in stage 6. This program is brought to you by Stanek. With us, you can go so much further. A 4:30 a.m. run through the Blokrans Pass at Nature's Valley starts the 2nd day for the 31 remaining competitors. This tar section of the old National Road soon has the sleep out of the eyes of the crews as they come to terms with the bends and gradients of this famous stretch of road. Paolo Piazzamusso falls victim to one of the bends, ending up with just a tree between the Uno and a few hundred-feet drop. Brian Woodhead and Jackie Tyra skid their Golf into the bank on one of the bends, and the stage is momentarily closed to clear the wreckage. The front-runners have now completed stage 8, a rough gravel stage that produces drama amongst the leaders. The Sasol Ford throws an alternator belt, causing the lights to dim and van der Merwe to steam. 20 seconds are lost to Serge and Vito on the stage. The Nissan arrives at the service area late, having lost time and their valuable 2nd place.
We have had a flat wheel about 7 kilos from the end, and it was a left front, so you couldn't drive through the hairpins and things. We lost about a minute and a half, I think.
Their hard work of the previous day lost to what will be the first of many punctures for the Nissan on day 2. Stage 9 is a run through the Blokrans Pass in the opposite direction. This time, the drivers have the first light of dawn to help them on their way. Frustrated in stage 8, Sarl attacks stage 9 in a winning time of 4 minutes and 7 seconds over the winding 6.8 kilometre pass. The second phase is still led by Glenn Durman and Dave Levkovitz, who start blasting smoke out of the conquest on the pass. They're now being wholeheartedly pursued by Skalk and Sue Berger, who have overcome a slow start to the event. At the service area, Glenn gives the conquest a full going over, now fully aware of the Berger's advancing pace. Leon Buerter retired his Class B Golf on the top of a tree stump on stage 8, giving Ball and Bab a breather in the Class B battle. There are 5 forest stages before the next regroup, and with both Toyotas taking extra service time, Sarl has first run at the rough forest roads. In car with Hannes and Douglas on stage 11, one gets an idea of the conditions. Recent rains have left the roads rutted and rough. Hidden rocks and tree stumps wait for the unlucky driver to make the slightest error of judgment. Logging in the forests adds to the plight of the crews as the drivers work at the wheel, avoiding obstacles as they arrive. And all this at over 150 kilometers an hour.
Keep right.
Enzo Kuhn and Johan Seelung have been quietly getting on with the job. Having taken 3rd place after the Nissan's problems on stage 8, Enzo finds himself now defending his place from the Grobler Centre. Running at the back of the Class A cars, Serge and Vito watch with interest as Sarl, Hannes and Enzo jostle for seconds in the stages. Looking down the field, Glenn Durman still leads the 2-wheel drive entries, the Class C car taking a pounding in the process. Tony Ball keeping his Golf steady as she goes, while behind him, Brady Dabner is starting to work his way up the scoreboard. The Bergers with their sights firmly set on Durman's Class C lead. Also going well after their disastrous start to the rally, Etienne Lawrence and Robert Paisley locked in battle with the lower order Class C cars. Jeff Dalglish, the well-known scribe from Drive magazine, at work here behind the wheel of his Class C Golf. Brian Duncan is the navigator. The local crew of Keith Coleman and Irma Kurzer, currently 3rd in Class C and working hard at bettering that position. Driving unopposed in Class D, Tjark van der Walt and Jacob van der Linde press on, avoiding the tangle of Class C cars ahead of them. The rough forest roads enough of a challenge for the Golf. Punctures are the order of the day, and Serge has his fair share, losing 30 seconds here on stage 14 to the Sasol Ford.
We've lost a bit of time on a long stage now. For 12 kilometers, right front wheel went flat, so by the time we got to the end, it was on the rim. So we've lost 30-odd seconds on Sarl there. So it puts us back now, I think, about 14 seconds behind Sarl. So we've got some catching up to do now.
You drive better when you're chasing. Are you going to give him a full go from these stages on?
Definitely, that's my biggest ambition, is to give Sarl a good go in his background. I always wanted to do that, so I think this is a good chance today.
So the lead changes with just 9 stages remaining, many of which are as rough as the stages just run. Flat tyres have kept the Nissan off Enzo Kuhn's pace, leaving Hannes tired and frustrated. Glenn Durman retired in stage 14 to give the Bergers the Class C lead. This program is brought to you by Stanek. With us, you can go so much further. Serge leaves the Storms River regroup control with a mission, and Sarl is only too aware of the challenge ahead. On On stage 15, Serge shows his intentions as he throws caution to the wind, conquering the Old Storms River Pass in an amazing 5 minutes and 16 seconds. Broken bodywork, evidence of the effort, but a small price to pay for the valuable seconds taken back from the competition. Marshall's score chart says it all. With Durman and Levkovitz out, the Class C battle suddenly comes alive, and Skalkberger has to work hard at keeping his inherited lead intact from the likes of Lawrence and Paisley and the flying Keith Coleman. The roads are far more demanding on the smaller Class C cars, and the privateers battle to keep their cars in one piece without the aid of professional service crews.
All the inside, I think. That's the problem. Kom hier rechts onder jou rem. Ja, sorry.
A cold drink can and some wire patch up the exhaust system as every effort is made to get the cars to the end.
Somebody's being paid by the
On the other side of the coin, the factory drivers enjoy a few moments out of their cars before another bone-jarring stage begins. Serge has now won stages 15, 16, 17 and 18 on the trot. As Sarl starts stage 19, he knows his lead is in jeopardy. Sarl keeps the pace fast, giving Serge nothing. Every second the Toyota scores on the Ford is worked for, with Serge often overextending both himself and the car. The pace hots up even more as seconds are won through effort and later lost with punctures. Enzo and Johan drive aggressively to keep their third place safe and the possibility of the second position open should the opportunity arise. Hannes and Douglas are driving at 12 tenths and the resulting mistakes start to show on the score chart. By stage 20, Serge has regained the lead and secured a full minute on Sarel in France, who must settle for second. Both driver and car are refueled for the long open section back to Port Elizabeth, where two short stages will finish the 1993 Volkswagen Algoa Rally. A huge crowd turns out to welcome the cars at the Warmer Park Shopping Centre for the final stage of the event. While the stage seems like a formality, not one of the crews can afford to relax and end up without points on the non-finishers list. Enzo Kuhn has driven steadily throughout, and after a good second place on the Sasol Rally last month, must be proud of this third overall on the Volkswagen Algoa event. Hannes will be frustrated with fourth overall, but the car performed well, proving itself a very worthy contender over the rough forest roads. The winner is what the crowd wants to see, and with the abundance of talent around the South African rally scene, Serge can be proud to lead this pack, because on the next event, anything can happen.
We've had a bit of a drought, sort of finishing events, the last two events, so I was looking forward to finish another good event and basically to win it too. And it was a good finish, and my team are very happy about it, and that's the way we should have.
Now, last time we spoke to you, you just suffered 3 punches almost in a row, and you weren't so happy, but you obviously chased hard to take Sarel, to take that time off Sarel.
Yeah, halfway after the punches, Sarel was in the lead, so I actually enjoyed it very much, the roads, and especially to give him a good go in his hometown and to beat him fair and square for a change.
So, Serge and Beto win overall and Class A. Tony Ball and Tony Babb took Class B, while Skalk and Sue Burger won Class C. Chart van der Walt with Jaco van der Linde won Class D.